guys, welcome back to Let's Code, and in this lecture we are going to cover the CSS selector part 3. Sorry for dividing this session into the 3 parts, but I want to cover the maximum level of topics that can helps you while selecting the elements from this HTML file, to color it, to change its font, to change its background, to animate it, and to apply the transition. So sorry for that, but it's something I'm doing for you guys, so please be patient while I will upload the lectures. It may take time sometime, but I will try my best to upload the lectures as soon as possible. So here I created a new file that is called, I can show you its name, I can show you its name is this one, and here I'm going to close this. I just opened it accidentally, so save and close. So here is the new file that is called CSS selector part 3. Here is our icon, and then I will press enter to auto generate the HTML structure. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy this title from our previous file we worked on, and if you are new, just go and see the previous lecture before going to these things or this lecture, because we are going to copy this bit of information from our previous file to this new file, and I'm going to paste it. And now I'm going to replace the name as 3. Come to the file explorer, just find the folder. Here is the intro to web development we created, and here is the CSS learning, because this file is located under the CSS learning, and CSS learning is located inside the intro to web development. So let's come back to our file explorer, and here is the lecture 3, as you can see, part 3, and this is the thing that we are going to work on. So let's begin our coding. Here I'm going to define style, and style is style is mostly called internal, and it is internal CSS. I will show you the external and inline CSS in next lectures, and we will also cover the inline and internal CSS, a bit of it, in the tables.html. So you can also visit that lecture to see what is inline and internal CSS and what are the differences. So let's begin our lecture. So first we are going to cover the pseudo elements that is called first child. So let's begin, and here I can show you I am going to define div dot h1 dot first child. Come here and assign it a color that is not blue, that is brown. Come here, refresh it. You can see the first child color is changed. It doesn't affected any other. I can show you how. I'm just copying it and pasting it next to P. I'm coming back here, I'm going to refresh. You can see it doesn't touch it, but it is still under the div, not this div. I can show you how. I am going to close this, and here you can see it is actually the second child of it, and therefore it's not touching it. So it's the pseudo element like first child we use to actually touch only the first child of an element. We don't want to affect any other element. So let's define div, and the next thing we are going to cover is the nth child. So let's have it. It's not like that, it's like nth child, and I'm not going to use the h1 for this, but let's test it for 3. Color equal. Let's refresh. You can see nothing is happened because of this one, as h1 is not having any child. So what we can do, we can go to ul and put a space and come here and refresh it. So here you can see its color is changed. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this and create multiples so you can understand what is nth child. Here and here. So we are having a long list, and now you can see every third item has a different color because of this N3 rule. Even I can do math here, like I'm going to type it. I typed the math formula, simple algebra. So here you can see every second child, but I don't want the second child, I want the fourth one. So let's start. So how it is working, I can show you. It's first going to the n1 where n is 0. Sorry, it's going to the n0. n0 multiplied by 2 is equals to 0, and 0 plus 4 is equals to 4. So it's selecting 4. Now go for the 1. So 1 makes it 2, and 2 plus 4 is 6. So that is how the math is working here. Even you can go for the thing that is called n3 plus 1. So now it will go for every third item with the first one, because when n is 0, 3 is 0, it's having the 1 as 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. So this is how the n selector work. Now I will show you how even and odd selectors work. So let's copy this, not that, this one, yeah, and here I'm going to write, I'm replacing this text with even, and I'm going to replace this h1 here, another h1 with, need to add the odds, paste it. I want to show you something. I'm going to refresh it, and you can see it's having no changes, because I can show you why. Because it is not inside a diff. This one, these two are not inside a diff, and here I'm defining a diff unordered list. If I remove this, I come back and refresh, it's selecting all UL tags, so therefore it's also working here. Therefore I'm going to do it like this, and here I'm going to assign it a ID class that is even list. Yeah, so sorry, it's list. Yeah, let me copy this, come here, I'm going to type dot is the class identifier, that the element we are calling is actually defined as a class. So it's the even list, and what I'm going to do, I'm going here like typing nth child even. It's just a sample. I hope this will work. This doesn't work here. Yeah, it's not working here, but I will show you how does it work. I am showing you what is the mistake in it. So it's actually having nothing defined here, so we can see the changes. Let's come here, and I'm going to change the color to something like this, and come here and refresh. You can see the changes. Every second item it's working on the even. Now copy the same one, sorry, yeah, it's copy, and now paste it. I'm going to define two tabs, so we have a well structured, and here odd, and come here, and I'm not going to make its color, I'm going to make it as a background color, and I'm coming here back, and here it's also on the even, because we are having the same list defined here. I'm going to add a class for this here, and I'm going to name it as class odd list, so we can have this view on the odd, because it's working odd, but it's working for the even list, because here the even list is defined. So just come here and define odd list, come here and refresh, and you can see the difference. I'm going to share this file in the GitHub, and I will share the link of the GitHub in the video description, and also all the parts, like for every lecture there is a video for all these files, how I created it in the playlist, and the playlist, I will share the playlist link in the video description, and also this awesome course outline. So be there with me for the next lecture, in which we are going to cover the types of the CSS and the list text styling. So these are the two things that we will see in the next lecture, and after that we will cover the most important things of the CSS, that how can you use the backgrounds as images, linear gradients and radical gradients, and even that circular progress bar we saw on many websites and many applications. So be there with me for the next lecture, we will cover all these important topics. So be there and let's code.